Europe and Africa, more alike than you think. What if everything you've been told about Europe and Africa is only half the truth? Two continents, different images, different stories. One is often seen as modern and developed, the other as struggling and traditional. But what if I told you, beneath the surface, people in Europe and Africa live more similar lives than you ever imagined? From family bonds to daily struggles, from dreams to culture, these two continents are connected in ways that might completely change how you see the world. Stay with me because this is not the comparison you're expecting. When we hear Europe versus Africa, most people instantly think of differences: wealth, infrastructure, technology, and lifestyle. But today, we're doing something different. We're not comparing who is better, we're exploring something deeper: the shared human experience between Europe and Africa. Because no matter where you go in the world, people laugh, struggle, dream, and love in surprisingly similar ways. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's start with something universal: family. In many African societies, family is everything. Not just parents and children, but extended families, cousins, uncles, grandparents, all connected in a strong support system. People grow up knowing they are never alone. Now, you might think this is unique to Africa, but look at Europe more closely. In countries like Italy, Spain, Portugal, and Greece, family bonds are just as powerful. Adult children often stay close to their parents. Grandparents play a big role in raising children. Even in Northern Europe, where independence is more common, family still remains emotionally important. In both continents, when life gets difficult, people turn to family first. That emotional safety net, it exists everywhere. Culture is not just something people celebrate once a year, it's something they live every day. In Africa, culture is expressed through vibrant festivals, music, dance, storytelling, and traditional clothing. In Europe, culture shows up in historic festivals, art, architecture, and centuries-old traditions. Think about it: African weddings full of color, music, and dance. European festivals like Oktoberfest or Carnival. Different styles, same purpose: to celebrate identity, history, and belonging. Both continents hold on to their traditions, even in a modern world that's constantly changing. And in both places, culture is not just entertainment, it's a way of life. Food is one of the strongest similarities between Europe and Africa. In both continents, meals are not rushed, they are shared. In Africa, families gather around large plates, eating together, talking and laughing. In Europe, especially in countries like France, Italy, and Spain, meals can last hours, filled with conversation and connection. Food is not just about hunger, it's about togetherness. Whether it's homemade bread in Europe or a traditional African dish, the experience is the same. People sit together, slow down, and enjoy the moment. And in today's fast world, that's something both continents still value deeply. Now let's talk about something real: money and survival. Many people assume economic struggles exist only in Africa, but that's far from the full picture. In Africa, challenges may include unemployment, infrastructure gaps, and limited opportunities in some regions. But in Europe, especially in recent years, people are facing rising rent, expensive housing, inflation, and job insecurity. Middle-class families are feeling the pressure. Young people are struggling to afford homes. Living costs are increasing faster than wages. Different economies, but similar stress. At the end of the day, whether in Lagos or London, people are asking the same questions. Can I afford a better life? Will my future be stable? Am I doing enough to survive? That struggle is global. Both Europe and Africa are full of contrasts. In Africa, you'll find rapidly growing cities like Nairobi, Lagos, and Johannesburg, full of energy, business, and opportunity. At the same time, rural areas remain deeply connected to tradition, agriculture, and slower living. Now, look at Europe. Cities like Paris, Berlin, and London are modern and fast-paced, but outside these cities, you'll find quiet villages, farms, and traditional lifestyles that haven't changed much in decades. Both continents live between two worlds, modern cities and traditional countryside. And in both places, people often move between these worlds in search of better opportunities. Let's talk about the future, the youth. A young person in Europe and a young person in Africa may grow up in different environments, but their dreams are often the same. They want a stable job, financial independence, a comfortable life, opportunities to grow. In Africa, many young people are driven, entrepreneurial, and eager to create change. In Europe, youth are educated, ambitious, but also facing uncertainty about jobs and affordability. Different paths, but same destination. Everyone is chasing a better life. Both Europe and Africa are incredibly diverse. Africa is home to thousands of ethnic groups, languages, and traditions. Each country has its own identity, sometimes even multiple identities within it. Europe, though smaller, is also highly diverse. Different countries, languages, cultures, and histories all exist within a relatively small space. Diversity is strength in both continents. It creates richness, creativity, and global influence. But it also brings challenges, integration, unity, and understanding. Still, both continents continue to evolve while holding on to their unique identities. One of the most beautiful similarities is something simple: human connection. In both Europe and Africa, people value relationships. Neighbors talk, friends gather, communities support each other in times of need. In Africa, this sense of community is often very visible and strong. In Europe, it may look more subtle, but it still exists, especially in smaller towns and local cultures. At the core, people everywhere want the same thing: connection, belonging, support. Changing traditions in a modern world. Both continents are experiencing change. Globalization, technology, and social media are influencing lifestyles in Europe and Africa. Young generations are adopting new habits, new values, and new ways of thinking. But at the same time, there is a struggle to balance modern life with tradition. In Africa, people are trying to preserve cultural identity while embracing progress. In Europe, traditions are also being challenged by modern lifestyles and global influences. This tension between past and future exists in both places. So, what's the truth? Europe and Africa are not opposites. They are not completely different worlds. Yes, there are differences in economy, development, and systems, but when you look beyond the surface, you see people who love their families, people who work hard, people who celebrate culture, people who struggle and dream. And that's what truly connects these continents. Not geography, not politics, but humanity. If this video changed how you see Europe and Africa, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to see this. And tell me in the comments what similarity surprised you the most. This is Europe Info Hub, bringing you closer to the world, one story at a time.